Because see, at some point, all of our ability to trust God is going to be put to the test. And then finally, it is a time where patience is produced. Listen to me, because of difficulty or hardships. See, this is the reason we have to see tests as that which is helping us, because of what the Apostle James reveals about tests. That is, that they produce patience. Tests going to show us how to endure, how to persevere, how to keep believing, how to keep relying upon God. Through all that you go through, patience. When you allow patience, notice what James said, to work on us. See, when trouble is at hand, we have to allow patience to work. We have to allow patience to work. And some of us, that's where the problem comes in. We don't allow patience to do, listen to me, what it was sent to do. See, during a time of test, patience is there to work on us. It's there to work on you. There to work on your thinking. There to work on your talking. It's there to work on your choices, your deeds, or your actions. But I have to allow patience to work. Got to allow it to work. Got to let patience have its way in me. And see, some of us are looking, because when patience shows up, we don't let it work. Notice what he says in James 5. Notice what he said. He said, indeed, in James 5 and 11, he said, indeed, we count them blessed. This word blessed is happy. Indeed, we count them blessed who what? Endure. Then he said, you've heard of the perseverance of Job. You've seen the end intended by the Lord. Notice what James knew about his audience. He knew his audience had heard about Job. And let me ask my audience, how many in here have heard about Job? Raise your hand if you heard about the story of Job. Raise your hand if you heard about the story of Job. So every one of us in here, we've heard about the story of Job. Notice, he lets them know in speaking to a group of people who, according to James 1, are going through tests. He says to them, you've heard of Job. You've heard of the perseverance of Job. But see, here's the problem. Some people have heard of Job, but they haven't learned from Job. See, I don't want to just hear or know about Job, but I want to learn from Job the lesson that God wants me to learn from this man. Listen, and the ordeal that he went through. Because a lot of folk have heard of Job, but they haven't learned the lesson concerning Job. And see, when you only know from a memory standpoint about Job, then the story of Job is not going to benefit you the way God wanted to. Stay with me. Because see, you have only heard, and there are people that can tell you just about the entire story of Job. But yet when they go through things, they do not become an example like Job, or they do not follow Job's example, though they've heard about him. And see, whenever God is speaking to us about anything that concerns the 66 books that are found in the Bible, 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament, listen, it's not just as simple as a history lesson. But there is something to be learned, listen, or to be gained. Learning having to do with gain. I need to gain something as a result of God placing Job in my spirit. Because there's just too many folk that go to church that know Bible. As far as reciting a story. Come on. But it's bigger than that. I say it's bigger than that. When you come to church and God gives a text, he's expecting his people to learn. He wants you to gain something. Am I right? This is how I learned to deal with trials properly. By allowing what God put in my spirit to teach me, to help me, to learn me. I recognized early on that when tests come, I can't keep thinking strange. I can't be going through all that I'm going through, yet every day I get up, I'm not guarding my mind. No, I learned if I don't guard my mind and I allow any thought to just enter, not just enter, but stay there, remain there, take root there. Come on, somebody. Some of us thoughts hit our mind that we know are not right. This is not the way you need to be thinking in the midst of this test. Now, instead of you casting down the thought, instead of you casting your care on God, you allow the thought to take root. When the thought take root, then the thought become a stronghold. It becomes that which battles you throughout the trial, throughout the test. The same thought. Pastor, what are you talking about? Thoughts of failure. Thoughts concerning poverty. Thoughts of sickness. Thoughts of death. Continue to plague God's people because we don't guard our mind. And I knew God had ordained for me to do something special. He had an assignment for my life. But he would often let me know, son, if you don't take control of your mind and learn to deal with tests, you won't be able to help people the way that I want you to help people. Because it's one thing, again, to say something to somebody. It's a whole nother story to say it to them and then tell them, watch me live it, watch me walk it out. I don't want to just be a preacher that just preaches just to preach. But I know I got to go through things. I don't get to just talk about tests without taking tests. And a lot of time when you get to talking about tests, preaching about tests, most of the time you're going through a test. Think about the time God had you to testify to somebody. Little did they know at the time you were going through more than what they were going through. But God was using you to encourage them, oh Lord, in their faith. Am I right?